Yes, it's that time of the show where we get you out of your misery and we answer this week's trivia question, but I don't do it alone. I do it with Jessica Bukamusonkomo. Hey, girl.
Hi, Mama. How are you?
Great. Excited to be back.
Good to have you back. I missed you so much when you were doing big girl things, covering CAF.
You know, and I must say, you did big girl things sitting in the seat. Well done.
Thank you very much.
You did that. Let's get you out of your misery. This week, we asked you about Zambia's Copper Queens. Yes, they won the CAF Women's Championship, but we asked you, how many times have they won the title?
So to get everybody out of their misery, they've won it twice. And an interesting fact is that it feels like deja vu for Banyana Banyana because every time they've won it, it was up against Banyana Banyana. In 2022 and in 2024, it was up against Banyana Banyana.
Goodness me, I must say, having experienced that live, felt like there was a pistol through my chest. It was so sore. But nevertheless, I'm so happy for the Copper Queens. They are your champions for CAF 2024. And yes, this was their second time winning the competition. So thank you so much for playing along with us. If you did not play this week, we do it again next week, same time, same place. Now, talking about the CAF Women's Championship, the competition this year was in its record-breaking edition, simply because there were 14 teams that competed. This is an extension of what they've had previously, which was really interesting.
I love that. It gives other teams an opportunity, and we're always about seeing new debutants coming into the game. As much as they don't do so well, which is expected for a team that's new in this running, but I think it gives, it's a bigger pool and it gives opportunity to more teams. We get to profile these players and see who's good, who still needs improvement. And I mean, it just creates a broader conversation around the players and the tournament itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Every single member of the CAF region was represented, which is quite interesting. Seychelles being the debutantes, they finally got to get off of their island and go to this competition. So let's talk about how their run was.
So I think it was expected for them to have such a difficult time. I mean, if you're looking at the teams that they've been playing against, are teams that know this tournament quite well. Some of them have made it out of the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and some of them have actually won in the running. So you do expect them to have a bit of a challenge, but I think it's a great opportunity for them to experience it. And I mean, we saw Coleman, who got a player of the match. This is a very phenomenal player, somebody that we've seen not just only at tournaments like this, but on club level, she's done quite exceptionally well. So I think this is also just to highlight those individuals that are doing exceptionally well. And I'm hoping they go back to the drawing board and, work hard enough. And what I liked about this tournament, speaking about the debutants, is that I think there was a fair play in terms of no one team having so many big players. We know that your Rachels were not there, your Bandas were not there, the Banyana Banyana core team wasn't there, your Chawingas were not there for Malawi. So I felt like it was a level playing field for everybody to kind of get the same experience. Can you just imagine if all these other teams had their prominent players? It would have been an unfair game, for the others. So I think this was a nice transition for them.
Yeah, the beauty about CAF is the new stars that we get to witness through this competition. Seychelles, even though it was a bumpy start, but at least they got that goal. Yeah. Yes, it was a penalty, but at least they got a goal.
And it goes into their record books.
Do you understand?
And I'm sure next time they want to bring more goals.
Do you understand? You talk about the likes of the big names not being there, but other names came through within this competition. For South Africa, many people spoke about Jessica Williams. People don't know her.
Yes, Jessica Williams has been in the development spaces, all the way in Cape Town. We've seen her transition. She was a TUT at some point, and now she's back at the Sasol League. Just proves for you that, the Sasol League does promote or also have players that can really compete. I mean, a lot of people were asking her, why is she not playing in the Hollywood Beds? A lot of people are actually asking her, which team does she play for in the Hollywood Beds? But she did exceptionally well. That goal for her and that award, and she's a player who's always carried leadership skills. And we saw when she was a captain in the.
It's that Williams surname.
I think it's that Williams surname.
There's something in that Williams surname.
Somebody was saying that, but also to Ludwig, she's been a player that has been so consistent. Back in her JVW days, we were so sad to see her going to TAS because people wondered what that's going to do in her career. But I mean, she still remained prominent, and to get a call up and to do so exceptionally well and walk away with player of the tournament, it's remarkable. And I feel like let's
talk about Malawi. Obviously, they were the defending champions. Everyone was expecting them to win the competition. The final before the final actually was them up against Zambia. Yes, they pose a lot of experience within that team, but then I think they were exposed in a sense of What is your successive planning when we bring in young, fresh players?
100%. And this is why it's important for people to do match analysis prior, to the matches, to know about your components and to know your opponents, and to know what it is that they bring onto the table. So I think they were thrown off a little bit, and looking at how they played in all the matches, I believe that the Malawi we know isn't the Malawi that was going to lose against Zambia. And I've got nothing against Zambia, but I just know how strong they are, the strengths that they build, they bring, especially when it comes to your quarterfinals and your semifinals and that kind of thing. So I think for them, it's a very tough lesson. And I think the hype also, because remember when we saw the groups and we were seeing the performance, everybody believed that Malawi is going to walk away.
Of course, you look at it in Asamenya Sumwaka and you're...
Yeah, so they basically came with the army, and we felt like the ammunition that they had in this competition, it was going to be a walk in the park. That might have played a hand in that, just the mental preparation for the players themselves could have thrown them a little bit off. But I don't think they really had a terrible tournament. It's just unfortunate for them.
Well, big things are still going to come from Zambia. I can tell you that for sure. It's great times for women's football within that nation. But before we close it off, we have to touch on the CAF Women's Champions League. Kicks off today. UWC, TP Mazembe.
Yes.
I'm scared.
Very scared.
Kamete is not there.
I'm very, very scared.
I'm just like, could you not wait?
Because when I saw it, I was like, but we could have just asked for a bit of an extension. We'll give her to you after the tournament. But we spoke about this earlier to say, with every piece that's still at UWC, there are strong players.
Capable.
We might just be affected by, obviously they just came back now, the UWC player, fatigue, the flights, and just having to come and travel again. We might experience a bit of a challenge there. And the fact that they are debutants as well is a different ball game in totality, as much as they have strong players and that kind of thing. But I do believe that Jessica, I call her Jessica, but yeah, Tina Sonke, people know her as Tina, does have a game plan for them. TP Mazembe is a team that's been in this running, so they understand and know exactly what is at stake. So I'm I get sure about this one.
Alrighty, UWC. Your time is now. Go on and show Africa what you're made of. It's all going on out in Morocco. It's the CAF Women's Champions League that we will be diving straight into within the following weeks until we officially crown a new champion, or can Mamelodi Sundowns defend their title. But just like that, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you so much for choosing us. We do it again next week. Lina Lagakiti Meleng, Jose Kharia Khabanda. From myself and the rest of the team, au revoir.